Let's talk about Christmas. The history of Christmas. There are several theories as to why the 25th of December was chosen as the date. For Christmas, however, theology Professor Susan Roll notes that no liturgical historian goes so far as to deny that it has any sort of relation with the sun, the winter solstice, and the popularity of solar worship in the later Roman Empire. The history of religions or substitution theory suggests that the Church chose the 25th of December as Christ's birthday dies Natalis Christi 203. To appropriate the Roman winter solstice, festival dies Natalis Solis Invicti birthday of Saul. Invictus, the invincible sun, held on this date since 274 AD. Before the earliest evidence of Christmas on that date. Gary Forsyth, professor of ancient history, says that the Natalis Solis Invicti followed the 7-day period of the Saturnalia, December 17th to 23rd, Rome's most joyous holiday season since Republican times, characterized by parties, banquets, and exchanges of gifts. 31 Roll says that the specific nature of the relation between Christmas and the Natalis Solis Invicti has not yet been conclusively proven from extant texts. 198 The calculation theory 30 suggests that the 25th of December was calculated as 9 months after a date chosen for Jesus' conception, the 25th of March, the Roman date of the spring equinox, which later became the Feast of the Annunciation. 30 to 204. Origins of Christmas. The origins of Christmas stem from both the pagan and Roman cultures. The Romans actually celebrated 2 holidays in the month of December. The first was Saturnalia, which was a 2-week festival honoring their god of agriculture Saturn on December 25th. They celebrated the birth of Mithra, their son god. Both celebrations were raucous, drunken parties. Also in December, in which the darkest day of the year falls, the pagan cultures lit bonfires and candles. To keep the darkness at bay, the Romans also incorporated this tradition into their own celebrations. As Christianity spread across Europe, the Christian clergy were not able to curb the pagan customs and celebrations. Since no one knew Jesus' date of birth, they adapted the pagan ritual into a celebration of his birthday. Christmas trees. As part of the solstice celebrations, the pagan cultures decorated their homes with greens in anticipation of the spring to come. Evergreen trees remained green during the coldest and darkest days, so they were thought to hold special powers. The Romans also decorated their temples with fir trees during Saturnalia and decorated them with bits of metal. There are even records of the Greeks decorating trees in honor of their gods. Interestingly, the first trees brought into the pagan homes were hung from the ceiling, upside down. The tree tradition we are accustomed to today hails from northern Europe, where Germanic pagan tribes decorated evergreen trees in worship of the god Woden with candles and Dried fruit, the tradition was incorporated into the Christian faith in Germany during the 1500s. They decorated trees in their homes with sweets, lights, and toys. Santa Claus, inspired by Saint Nicholas, this Christmas tradition has Christian roots rather than pagan ones. Born in southern Turkey around 280, he was a bishop in the early Christian church and suffered persecution and imprisonment for his faith, coming from a wealthy family. He was renowned for his generosity towards the poor and disenfranchised. The legends surrounding him abound. But the most famous is how he saved 3 daughters from being sold into slavery. Saint Nicholas is said to have tossed gold through an open window into the home, thus saving them from their fate. Legend has it that the gold landed in a sock drying by the fire, so children started hanging stockings by their fires in hopes Saint Nicholas would toss gifts into them. In honor of his passing, December 6th was declared Saint Nicholas Day. As time went on, each European culture adapted versions of Saint Nicholas. In Swiss and German cultures, Christkind or Kreis, Kringle, Christ child, accompanied St. Nicholas to deliver presents to well-behaved children. Joel Thompson was a happy elf delivering gifts via a sleigh drawn by goats in Sweden. Pagan worship, forbidden by God. For then Josiah ordered the high priest Hilkiah, his assistant priests, and the guards on duty at the entrance to the temple to bring out of the temple all the objects used in the worship of Baal, of the goddess Asherah, and of the stars. The king burned all these objects outside the city near Kidron Valley, and then had the ashes taken to Bethel. 5. He removed from office the priests that the kings of Judah had ordained to offer sacrifices on the pagan altars in the cities of Judah and in places near Jerusalem. All the priests who offered sacrifices to Baal, the sun, the moon, the planets, and the stars. 6. He removed from the temple the symbol of the goddess Asherah, took it out of the city to Kidron Valley, burned it, pounded its ashes to dust, and scattered it over the public burying ground. 7. He destroyed the living quarters in the temple occupied by the temple prostitutes. It was there that women wove robes used in the worship of Asherah. 8. He brought to Jerusalem the priests who were in the cities of Judah, and throughout the whole country he desecrated the altars where they had offered sacrifices. He also tore down the altars dedicated to the goat demons near the gate built by Joshua, the city governor, which was to the left of the main gate as one enters the city. 9. Those priests were not allowed to serve in the temple, but they could eat the unleavened bread provided for their fellow priests. 10. King Josiah also desecrated Topheth, the pagan place of worship in Hinnom Valley, so that no one could sacrifice his son or daughter as a burnt offering to the god Molech. 11. He also removed the horses that the kings of Judah had dedicated to the worship of the sun, and he burned the chariots used in this worship. These were kept in the temple courtyard near the gate and not far from the living quarters of Nathan Melech, a high official. John 4:24, King James Version. 20. For God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Exodus 20-3-5, New King James Version. 3 You shall have no other gods before me. For you shall not make for yourself a carved image any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. 5 You shall not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the 3rd and 4th generations of those who hate me,